attracted you particularly into this job?
Well, I wanted to be a nun because my parents were staunch Catholics. And as a Catholic, also as a young girl that was taught by seminary, I just felt that getting married to Jesus was the best alternative for me. But growing up, my father as a top civil servant, when he sees people who have been unjustly treated, I see people come to him. My mother as a princess, whose father had several subjects, I see my mom trying to intervene on behalf of all those people. But I still wanted to be a nun. Getting to A-levels, I saw Rethink Nigeria, and I went in for their meeting. I observed that there was no closing or opening prayer. They threatened to throw me out through the window, and they actually threw me out. The second time, I was persuaded, 1981, I went back there, I was also thrown out. So I forgot about it, got into the University of Ilorin, 1984, and then one of the lecturers mentioned my matriculation number. We had test meeting. When I was going to trace the lecturer with my friend Momen, my friend just said, "Reverend sister," pointed at the lecturer. And then I got to the lecturer's office. "Yes, why you call a reverend sister?" I said, "I want to be a nun." "Nun?" And then the lecturer realized that I performed very well in our course. And then showed me books about Martin Luther, asked me about Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and most Mandela, all the revolutionary. At the end, 2 months after that, the position of women in Nigeria, Kwara State branch secretary was vacant. We were 3. Manifesto night was a very great night. After the first person spoke, the second person, I had a standing ovation, and that was how the struggle began. I've been arrested about 17 times. It has to do with long, short detention, military, most of the time, a few of the times, civilian. Well, the longest one really was Alago, and yes, about 10 months. But I recall vividly the time we were to paste posters. That was in Lagos. I said, well, in Lagos, I'll paste my own posters at other balance. That I was told to go back to my constituency in Lorraine. I then traveled back to Kwara State, and I made sure that I pasted my own poster at the Sobi Barracks. Unfortunately for me, because some of their lights were not on, but unfortunately for me, while I was pasting the poster, somebody came there to ease himself, and then I had to lie still, and all over my face, my mouth, everything. But in the process, it was tipsy, and he stepped on me. He requested for a torchlight. When the torchlight came, and it flashed, and saw what I was posting. After beating me to stupor, the other person asked, "Why are you wasting your hour? Why don't you finish this person?" But the 2 people I kept there, I told, in case I die, tell people what happened to me. One of them had to scream, and then he took the other one on the bike and escaped. It's better that the trenches were always together, but we also find a lot of other guys, so there wasn't anything special. So I think 6 months after our detention, when they were all gathered, early 96, all comrades were sitting, debating state of the nation, heated argument. So we're to debate state of the nation, comrades then said, "Please, I want to discuss the state of my heart." And people were wondering, heart? We are not doctors, you have heart problems. I said, "I'm in love with this girl." And the girl said she will not marry until there's democracy. "Please, I just want to plead, give us 5 minutes. Let her tell me why she will not marry, and I will tell her why I want to marry her." And so the people there started jotting points. And then they said, "Yinka has defeated you. So Yinka has given us good reason." The most important thing he said is that marrying you will not be a distraction. It's going to be an addition to you. And based on that, we are clapping and we are urging him to do whatever and ensuring that everybody get married. That was February 96, November 97, we got married.
It appears that under this military regime there were not much NGOs, like there was more unity, a lot of people would come under one or few umbrellas. But now there appears to be more, appears to be a very high proliferation of NGOs. So what do you think is prompting this fertility of NGOs all everywhere, such that NGOs are now becoming as popular as churches much? So would you say it is because of the international sponsor here that makes NGOs start getting proliferated without really making any impact in our society?
Well, one thing during the military dictatorship was that we had a unifying factor, a rallying point, no to military rule. Military rule is an operation. So we had few of the organizations, first had Women in Nigeria, Committee for Defense of Human Rights, Campaign for Democracy, which was an umbrella. So we had all organizations coming under that umbrella, under one rallying point, no to military dictatorship. Then we were agitating for multi-party system and the convocation of the sub-national conference. But now we have different non-governmental organizations. Some are working on budgets, police, domestic violence, impunity, different, some are anti-corruption, but we have different non-governmental organizations. We still have people who belong to the leprous segment of the civil society, those who will not see anything bad in government, those who are there to motivate their future, those who are there for what they can grab. But because we just have lots of issues and we have people that want to be focused on just one particular item, one particular issue, and that's why we have lots and lots and lots of non-governmental organizations.
If after you are now honored on the world stage by the United States of America, if Nigerian federal government now says, okay, you have been honored abroad, we also want to honor you, then they put your name in the list of other criminals in the city.
For me, not until corruption is strongly fought, not when there's justice, fairness, and equity, not when there's a society that is free from unjust policies. One will always say that they are award and then just
was there ever a time that any political group sponsored the protest rally that you were organizing?
Never, never, never. When we have rallies, when we have our own protest, we have a lot of our members, because we deal with those mainly of the grassroots. We have a lot of our members that are bus drivers, the youths of this country. Will continue and they remain the heartbeat of this country. They also remain the life wire for the survival of this country. That's why I want to be more assertive we are. The more we prioritize our needs, the more we think and realize that these peanuts people are giving us will mortgage our future. The laborious task that we have now is telling people that this constitutional review cannot do us anything. There's only a conclusion of the sub-national conference that will lead us out of this current mess that we find ourselves.
What is next for our show?
Thank you. Thank you.